Hello, I am Michelle.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. Well, yesterday there was some new Warner Brothers DC news that we want to discuss. So people had feelings. There were a lot of feelings involved.
Feelings were had.
They were had, and we were one of them. And I even tweeted out because several weeks ago we ended up doing what we titled our DCEU rant. And it actually didn't even start out us ranting. We were like the DCEU, and it just kind of ended up turning into that somehow. But I tweeted out yesterday, I feel like second DCEU rant coming on. And what we're going to be talking about, obviously, is the big news that came out that J.J. Abrams is supposedly working on a reboot of Superman. And as Henry Cavill stands... We're not very happy about this news. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because I just think that this news, people, we included, but so many people just love Henry Cavill as Superman. And I mean, if there's one thing...
Insert hard eyes.
Yes.
Emoji.
And I mean, if there's one thing, the DCEU has missed... I mean, DC has missed on several things, and Marvel's kicked their butt in many ways. But if there's one thing that DC has done really good, and those of you who have listened to us, watched us for some time, know that overall we prefer DC. We were 90s kids. We were raised with Batman. Like, we're just kind of DC people. But with that being said, one thing that they have done excellent that I think they've done under this DCEU is their casting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, I feel like Henry Cavill is Superman, fantastic. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, fantastic.
Yes.
Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. I mean, I just feel like all three of those I name, like, they are their character.
Like the epitome of that character.
Yes, like, it was perfect casting. And even Jason Momoa, for the most part, is Aquaman. I think that was a great pick, too. But they have these great castings. And I said in that first rant how it's just kind of frustrating as a DC fan that you kind of get on board with, like, Wonder Woman kind of led off kind of people beginning to truly like some things from DC again. And it's like, maybe people didn't love Batman v Superman, or I'm saying the majority, or whatever it was. It was kind of a divisive film in its way. But people really like these characters, and it's kind of like you don't always have to just go back to the beginning. Like, you can you can retool and keep moving forward. And that's kind of what I think we've all wanted with Superman, because people have been wanting a Man of Steel 2 literally since the first one came out in 2013. And although I think Zack Snyder did, a pretty good job with it, if they just don't want Zack Snyder, then you could always, I guess, pick another director.
Right.
But I mean, Henry Cavill is just a fantastic Superman. And it's just kind of tragic in the movie world to think that you have someone who's literally perfect for the role, and you're just going to, like, reboot again. And I think that's what people are upset about. Like, why do we just have to go back to the beginning? And so look at that. So you've got, you've recast, I guess, Batman, which that's now, I guess, on planet, like, B. They describe there's multiple planets now. But it's a
little confusing.
But you no longer have the Batman or the Superman, I guess, that came up with Gal Gadot. So what does that mean for her Wonder Woman 3 that just got announced, or Aquaman 2 that we know is in the works? So it just doesn't make sense. I mean, Natalie, what do you think?
I think that I want Henry Cavill as Superman. I mean, he just makes such a perfect Superman. Yeah. It's just like, I can't even see anybody else for the role off the top of my head.
Yes, and I just think before you move to a reboot of anything, like, give him a standalone, give him a Man of Steel 2, and if you have to have another director, then fine, I guess get another director, but you've got to get Henry back and let him be maybe in Black Adam or some of these movies coming up, because people really love him in this role. And it's just going to be really hard to cast someone else that's just so seems like Superman in this day and age.
Well, and I think it's a smart financial decision even. I think, it would bring a lot of people in to see the movie.
Yes. Well, and I wanted to bring that up too, Because to me, this news, why it seemed kind of so shocking, is because we are less than a month away, just a couple weeks away from the Snyder Cut, which regardless of if it's great or if it's not good or just okay, the Snyder Cut is such a big deal for fans.
Yeah.
Because it was such a fan movement to get to this point. So it kind of feels like along the way you had Walter Hamada, say it's like a cul-de-sac, like a dead end basically, or cul-de-sac or whatever, the movie. It's kind of like they keep kind of ripping it out from they keep sweeping the leg, so to speak, of this movie. And,
cutting it off at the knees,
yeah,
is that what you meant?
Yeah, but I went to the term of sweeping the leg, just knocking it down.
Yeah, and some phrases from the past you were like, where does that come from? But anyway, go on.
But yes, because, again, we're just a few weeks away from the Snyder Cut, and they come out with this news now of a reboot of Superman, and it just almost feels like, yes, fans, we're going to give you what you want, but we're really kind of resentful in the fact that we're giving this to you, and we're just going to let you know this isn't going anywhere. We're just doing this, and now we're going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And that type of thing, I feel like is happening more and more from studios that have these big Superman, Star Wars, these big names behind them.
Like, we guess you can have it your way, but we're annoyed about it.
We're annoyed by it, and now we're going to do what we really want to do. And it's just like, again, that's not smart business, because it kind of deflates the Snyder Cut before it comes out. And it's just like, even if Warner's was going to or is going to reboot Superman, why not announce that even like a week or so after the Snyder Cut? Right. That seems smarter to me. But the fact they did it now, it just, again, you can see if you get on Twitter, people are angry because the fans have pushed for this. We're excited to see Henry Cavill in the black suit in the Snyder Cut, and we want more.
I'm excited to see Henry Cavill.
We're always excited to see Henry Cavill, but it's just like we want him as Superman. And then you give us this, and it's like, no one wants this. We want this. Like, quit trying to give us something we don't want. We're not asking for this. We're asking for this, and you're like, no.
Don't give us crap, okay?
Yeah, don't give us crap. But that's just kind of my thoughts. I just think, again, it kind of feels like we're resentful about this type move, and like, yeah, we'll give the fans what you want, but we're gonna do what we want to do on the other hand.
Right.
And it's just kind of frustrating. And there also is a point. It's like, how many Supermans, how many Batmans can we have going at the same time? Or Jokers? It's just like, can we chill, DC?
Well, and especially like in Henry Cavill's case, or, maybe even Batman, like they're still young enough, like they can still do the role perfectly well.
Yeah.
So if people like them, why would you recast?
Because to me, why would you even hint at a recasting before you gave him a Man of Steel 2, which would then kind of line, for stars too, with DC, we should have already had Man of Steel 2. Yes. I mean, Man of Steel came out in 2013.
And that was a successful movie, was it not?
Yeah, it was. And it's just like, really?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a failure on that end. But why not give us Man of Steel 2 that kind of comes out around the same time, maybe a little after Aquaman 2 and right around maybe Wonder Woman 3. And then you kind of have, at that point, because Batman v Superman, I guess technically is a Superman movie, you then kind of have a trilogy for Wonder Woman and Superman.
Right.
That just seems to make more logical sense of moving forward in this world before we move to reboot. But here we are. So
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it's just like no one's asking for J.J. Abrams' reboot of Superman right now. We just aren't.
Who asked for this?
No one asked for this. And Warner's has seen that, I think, on Twitter. So we'll see where they go with it, guys. But the DC's gonna DC. That's all I gotta say about that.
They're gonna DC you.
That's kind of how it seems. But yeah, I think as fans, let Warner Brothers right now know you want Man of Steel 2 and you want it with Henry Cavill. So I think right now is the time to let your voices be heard.
Get a hashtag going.
Yeah, be polite. Be respectful about it, but let them know, hashtag Man of Steel 2, hashtag Henry Cavill is Superman. Let's get that going.
Because he is.
He is. No one else is going to look like that, guys, as Superman. No one. No. Only Henry can do that.
That is one fine specimen.
He really is.
I mean, what can I say?
And we'll end with that today. But thanks for tuning in to Force of Light Entertainment. And as always, remember to be a force of light. See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.